Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to kick off 2023 with something that would really help a lot of you. In this video, I'm going to be doing my essential guide to 2023 in your Etsy store and what steps you need to take to make more sales and get more of those lovely ka-ching noises that we all look forward to so much. Now, pretty much everybody on YouTube is doing some kind of guide for 2023, but I wanted to give some information that other people won't be giving out. As always on my channel, I try to give you information and insight that is different and unique and most importantly works. So let's get into this guide. There's 10 points ranging from number 10 being the least important, although they're all important, up to number 1, which is the most important. Let's go. Okay, number 10 on this list is something I know that never gets mentioned and I think is really important for the long-term success of your Etsy store, and that is your personal support structure. So when I talk about a personal support structure, I mean the people and pieces of technology and equipment that you have around you to support you. So if you're thinking that your laptop could be a newer version, you need a newer laptop, there's a printer that you've been wanting for ages that would improve your workflow, you've been sort of procrastinating about joining a group or a business group or a class to improve the skills that you have, or meet like-minded people in a group. This is massively important to do as a creator on Etsy. You've got to have a solid and well-functioning personal support structure around you. So if you've been putting off any of these changes or procrastinating on doing these things, now is the time to do it. Get that new equipment, new PC, new laptop, new printer. Join that class, get involved in a new group, because this is going to expand your mind, expand your learning, and provide you with just that encompassing feeling of support. The more you do this for yourself and the more you put yourself in like-minded groups, the further you're going to go in your Etsy store, and this can only be a good thing. So number 10 is a personal support structure. Number 9 on my Etsy Success 2023 guide is something that shouldn't be too difficult to do for most people, but a lot of people never actually think about this process, and that is selling items in the $10 to $50 price range. So you can sell whatever price range of items you want, $100, $200, $1,000. It doesn't matter, but what does matter is that you concentrate on the $10 to $50 price range, because if you look at successful Etsy stores, and when I mean successful, check 10,000 sales stores, 20,000, 50,000 sales. If you look at those stores, I guarantee you the price points they're selling at are between $10 and $50. And this is because Etsy as a marketplace is a sub $100 marketplace, and especially sub $50. All the big sales go off between $10 and $50. I want to be clear though, it doesn't mean you can't sell more expensive items. I work with stores, especially jewelry stores, that sell more expensive items, and they have no problem at all selling higher value items. But most customers on Etsy are looking to purchase under $100, and most of those under $50. So just make sure you spread your pricing for your products at 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 and so on up to $50. Have plenty of inventory across all those price points, and you are more likely to capture sales. So that is number 9. Have a good price spread between $10 and $50. Right, number 8 on this list is something that, again, that other people don't really talk about, but it's something you have to do, and it is taking a risk with your products. So wherever you go, you'll hear the information, look at what the market is doing, look at what's selling in your niche, and this is all great advice and you should do it, but you also have to be brave and take a risk with your product design and product listing in Etsy, because somebody has to be the leader. There has to be a leader in any niche, and the only way you become a leader usually is being at the front in terms of a new design, a new product that nobody else has done before. So always remember when you're designing new products, creating new products, to take a risk. So there will be no or very little information to back up whether you think this new product is a good idea or not. But that's the point. It's a new idea. It's not been tested. The market, if you look on Etsy, nobody's selling that product, or very few people are selling that product. And that's the point. It doesn't mean the demand isn't there. It just means that nobody's created the product yet. And this is a huge part of becoming successful long-term in your Etsy store. Take a risk. Don't sit there looking at marketing and trends and reports. No, the point is to take the risk, put the product in your store. If it flops, it flops. It's not the end of the world. You can make another product and try that. But if it succeeds and it's a new product or a new design, you become the leader. And that can mean lots and lots of sales, because then you're leading and taking those sales, and other people will come in behind you as the leader in that sub-niche, that new product idea. So don't be scared. Some products will fail, but you might find that something succeeds, and taking a risk is very important in your Etsy store. That is number 8. Right, number 7 in my list. This is a personal favorite of mine. Number 7 is don't listen to loads of low quality Etsy advice on YouTube. Now, we're all out here, trying to earn money, make a living for ourselves. And, if you're someone like me, an Etsy consultant, help people and make their Etsy stores better. But YouTube, along with social media, are 2 of the biggest time sucks that you can get drawn into when you're running your Etsy store, trying to find the latest tip, trying to find the next piece of advice that's going to sort of explode your Etsy sales. Try not to waste time on YouTube sites, YouTube channels that talk about courses, that go on and on about SEO, that talk about tools all the time, like Marmalade, eRank, Allura, Sales Samurai. These tools are just huge time sucks and take you away from your time and earnings pyramid, which we're going to talk about later. So just try to follow good, solid advice on YouTube. I'm a great channel to follow, of course. I mean, I've been doing this job for 8 years, and I've worked far beyond everybody else on YouTube when it comes to insights and learning and knowledge on Etsy. And of course, other people that have proof that what they teach works and can show you and can help you, then these people would also be good. But there are a lot of people out there on YouTube that literally don't know what they're talking about, or have very limited knowledge, and spending time watching this stuff is just going to confuse you. You're going to go around in circles. Just keep your time valuable and invest it in people that know what they're talking about. And I am one of those people. So keep listening to what I'm talking about and you won't go far wrong. That's number 7. Don't waste your time on BS YouTube advice. Number 6, this is something that when I audit stores with my clients to see how good or bad their store is, it's something that often comes up still in 2023. And that is number 6, make sure you take your own photography and video. So a lot of you will be doing this anyway, so it's not a problem. But think of all of you that do print on demand, whereby they provide the photos and you can also find mock-up video for you. You guys, 2023 for print on demand, it's no longer sufficient just to download the stock photography that they give you when you put your designs on products. Everybody is doing that. Everybody is at that level. You're not standing out in any shape or form just by using the stock photos that they give you. So what I'm saying to you is, ideally, in an ideal world, you actually need to be purchasing one of each product that you sell over time. Obviously, this is an investment in your business, a financial investment. But most print-on-demand sellers, they just use the stock photos. They're never going to purchase the items for themselves, and certainly not going to take photos and video. So this is the requirement. This is one of the essential requirements to make sure you've got your own photography and video. And this means you can take advantage of all the photographic angles and video angles that you can't get from the print-on-demand sites. For example, if you're selling a bag, you can open the bag up and take photos inside the bag. You can do videos opening the bag and showing the back, the bottom, the top. And this applies to all products, and it's absolutely vital because, you know, when customers are looking for products to buy, when they get to photography and video, they want to see all the angles of the product. They want to see the packaging of the product, inside the product. That's what sells. That's what converts items on Etsy. And investing in the products you sell will ensure that you have better photography and video than loads of other sellers, especially in the print-on-demand area of Etsy. So number 6 is ensure you do your own photography and video in 2023. Number 5, and this is one that, you know, it seems like common sense, but so many people don't do it. Earlier on, I was talking about taking risks and creating new products to sell in your store that other people don't have, and this is essential. But number 5 is far more basic, and that is to sell products that people want to buy, not necessarily that you want to make. So you've got to go to the marketplace. If you sell jewellery, you've got to go and look in the Etsy marketplace and see what's selling. Look at the trends, look at the styles, look at the materials, look at the price points of these items. Look at where the big numbers of sales are going off, because this tells you what the market is demanding, what it wants from you. And the holy grail of this process is selling items people want to buy and that you want to make. That's the key here. Check Etsy, look at what's going on, but then also match that with items that you want to make. And that's the key, because maintaining interest in the products that you make is absolutely vital, but you've got to sell items that people want to buy. So really obvious, but so many people don't do it. Loads of clients that I deal with on Etsy, they just make stuff that they love making. But when I say to them, have you ever checked to see if there's a demand? Are other people listing your products? Have they sold? Often they've said, oh, I've had a little look, not really paid much attention. That's a huge problem. You've got to sell products that people want to buy, and that is number 5. Okay, we're getting down to the really, really important stuff now. Number 4 is making sure you have a listing plan to get your store to 100 items. Now, I know some of you guys will have heard me going on and on and on about this. It's absolutely essential moving into 2023 that we all recognize Etsy is a big marketplace now. There's no room for stores with 10, 20 items in them to make decent sales. Usually when you get to 50 items and beyond, things start to happen in your store and you will start to make sales. 100, as I've said before, is not a magic number in terms of when you get to 100, all of a sudden sales will happen. But it is a magic number for your mental thinking process around size of your store. Because it's an achievement. When you get to 100 items, some of you will have put in a ton of work to reach that number. It's hard work. And when you get to 100, get to 3 figures, you'll find it's much easier to keep going. It's quite tough to get to 100 items, but getting to 100 items in your store proves the validity and viability of your business and the products you sell. I guarantee you, if you get to 100 products and you're not selling, there's a problem with the products that you've put up. There is a fundamental flaw. You should definitely be making sales every week in your store with 100 items. This is why it's so important, and it is a magic number, but not in terms of flicking on sales, but for your business process, proving the viability of your business and getting you ready for the next level, which is going beyond 100 items. So number 4 in my list is move your store to 100 items. Okay, now then, number 3 on my list, and I have talked so much about this, and most of you understand what I'm trying to tell you now. There are still people out there that don't understand it, and to be fair, I get it. Some people find this difficult to comprehend for a multitude of reasons. But number 3 is do not waste time on social media for your Etsy store. I've done a couple of videos on this. called Social Media is Killing Your Etsy Store. I know a lot of you have seen this, and this is the bone of contention for some people. They don't understand it, and I get that. I'm going to be doing a classroom example and explanation of this process and understanding social media so that everyone understands and gets what I'm trying to say to you. So number 3, literally every hour that you put into social media trying to send traffic to your Etsy store is time much better spent working inside your Etsy store on your listings, your photography, your video, your sales copy. All this stuff inside your store directly helps convert more potential customers. Sending traffic and spending hours and hours, and some of the time frames I see you guys spending on social media are incredible. 10, 15 hours and more a week. That is absolutely, it's insane. If you put that time into your store, it's going to produce far more sales than social media ever would. And as you know from my videos on social media, you're not helping your store by sending social media traffic to your Etsy store. It's damaging your store because Etsy and its visibility system runs on something called quality score. It's not a level playing field. You have to understand that quality score is what makes you more sales. So your social media traffic piling into Etsy is not helping you get more quality score. That social media traffic should be going to your website where you get the benefit, not to Etsy where you're causing problems for your store. This is something that still so many people don't understand and make this mistake day in, day out, week in, week out, and it's got to change. So number 3 on the list, don't waste time on social media for your Etsy store. If you are using social media, send it to your website. That is a much better idea. Okay, number 2 in my list, I absolutely love this one, is keeping yourself at the top of your earnings pyramid. At the top of your earnings pyramid. So let me explain what an earnings pyramid is and how it works. So when you work in your business, in your Etsy store at any level, you're always working inside an earnings pyramid. Either the work you're doing is keeping you at the top of your earnings pyramid, or the work you're doing does not reward you financially as well, and you're sliding down towards the bottom of your earnings pyramid. Let me give you an example of something that would be at the top of your earnings pyramid. So that would be something like listing new products. So listing new products is literally putting new items into your store that people can buy. So that is going to bring money into your business. That keeps you at the top. Another one might be taking new pictures or sourcing new components to make more products. All of these things keep you towards the top of your earnings pyramid. They're directly related to money and more money coming into your store. They're a great idea. Another example would be delegating work processes in your store that you need to have delegated, like photography, for example. Your store might be growing and you might be thinking, well, I'm going to get someone to take the photos for me so that I can do other more important things in my store at the top of the earnings pyramid. So you delegate tasks out. You might delegate out SEO work, or you might delegate product sales copy, videos. The options are endless, but all of these things free time up to push you up higher in your earnings pyramid. So they're good examples. Now, a bad example, and there's no surprise with a bad example, but a bad example of time spent in your earnings pyramid is social media. So if you're plugging away on social media for hours and hours each week, that's super low on your earnings pyramid. You've slid down your earnings potential right to the bottom. You see, it's about time and money. Time and money. Social media is one of the biggest time sucks. I absolutely hate it for Etsy stores, and it slides you down the earnings pyramid. So number 2 is keep yourself at the top of your earnings pyramid. And number 1 in my Etsy Success 2023 list is the most important thing ever, your time. So number 1 is keep yourself at the top of your time pyramid. I cannot stress time in your business, in your Etsy store, is the most valuable thing. And I absolutely hate it when people on YouTube suck your time. They take your time or tools used to help your Etsy store suck and take your time away from the very place it needs to be. Your time needs to be devoted largely to your store, largely to what's going on inside your store. So you've got to keep yourself at the top of your time pyramid. So every hour, every day, everything that you're doing needs to be kept towards the top of your time pyramid to bring more money in. So listing new items, new photography, new video, better SEO, better sales copy, new product research, new components. It's kind of the same as the earnings pyramid, but recognizing that the earnings pyramid comes from your time. It's all about time. So you've got to use your time as efficiently as possible. So if there are any tasks that can be delegated to members in your family, staff that you can work with either remotely or physically, to push your time pyramid, push you up the time pyramid, you should do that. So always use your time in the best way possible, and that will make sure that more revenue comes into your store in 2023. So what I'd like you to do in my comments is let me know what you thought of this guide. Was it interesting? Was it helpful? Did you learn something? Let me know in the comments, and remember, if you want to hire me to work on your store, the Hire Me button is in my banner on YouTube, and I also put links in my product descriptions, and I hope to work with more of you soon. See you in the next video. Cheers.